Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya 'alas salah, hayya 'alas salah, hayya 'alal falah, hayya 'alal falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Alhamdulillahilladzi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudhlil fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'da. Alhamdulillah, Allah give us the opportunity to meet again today, this Friday, Jum'ah Mubarak. So today inshallah I try to give a bit about da'wah that I feel that we need to talk about as a community. It just gives like a little bit motivation for me, myself, and everyone else, inshallah. So everyone asks, especially new Muslim, ask me, what is da'wah? People using this terminology. So da'wah, it means to call people. The root itself is from da'a, means to call. So to call people to the path of Allah, to call people to the guidance. So there are many verses in the Quran and also in the Hadith, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the whole life of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam basically is da'wah. So one of the verses, A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim, Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah wal mau'izatil hasanah wajadilhum billati hiya ahsan. So Allah said here in translation, invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good lesson, and argue with them with the way that is best. And also in the other verse, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةُ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Also, Allah used the word da'ah here, يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ. Let there be a group among you who call others to goodness, encourage what is good, and forbid what is evil. It is they who will be successful. And also, there's another ayah, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَى إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And here Allah praise people who give da'wah. And who is better than speech than the one that invite to Allah and does righteousness and say, indeed, I am a Muslim. And also the last pilgrimage, Rasulullah SAW in Hajjatul Wada, Rasulullah SAW said, in English, let the one who is present among you convey to the one that is absent. Perhaps the one who is absent may understand it better than the one who is present. So this is one of the, the Rasulullah SAW guide us, spread the message. Not just keep it to yourself after you listen to the khutbah. Sometimes, that's why the companions, tabi'in, they bring notes every time they listen to the lecture. They write it down because they want to leave the legacy. They want to spread the message. Because how many times we come to lecture and then we forgot the next day or the following week. So this is the importance of da'wah. And Rasulullah SAW said, "Man dala ala khairin falahu mithlu ajri fa'ilih." Whoever guides someone to goodness will have reward like the one who did it. So imagine you give a da'wah and that person, become Muslim and the whole family become Muslim, his generation become Muslim, becomes like the whole activists in the US. This is the Rasulullah said, you will get rewards. Even after we passed away, we will still get rewards. And imagine the companions after Rasulullah passed away, they left Makkah and Medina to spread da'wah. Imagine you live in Makkah, you pray in Al-Haram. How many rewards? One prayer. But they know the blessing of da'wah is more. Because you are like working, if you're working for a company, you become like executives, you get more rewards because you work for Allah. So this is one of the motivation. Many companions, they left Arabian Peninsula just to make da'wah. So now what is relevant for us here? We live in a country that many problems. We know like a lot of issues, right? Racism, mass shootings, bullying, the youth, rebellions, youth rebel against the parents. There's abuse, there is addiction, drugs, alcoholic, there's mental health, and also Islamophobia. We need to be prepared also this after the election. I don't know. The Islamophobia also, the peak of Islamophobia last time is like 2010, like the Ground Zero Masjid in New York. But this is the problems. We will face this in our society here. We live here, we are part of society. So da'wah can help eliminate these problems. Many times people ask, we have da'wah table every Saturday, they ask, what is Islam's solution for the pandemic issues? Because they have depression. So they're looking for solution. And many Muslims, they don't even, either they are not equipped, they don't have the knowledge how to answer. So this is the one that I need to motivate everybody, to go pursue, the knowledge as well as the education, the skills, how to make da'wah. So the broader da'wah is community responsibility, is fard kifayah. But that each Muslim could contribute in their capacity. So everybody, if you are good in, your communication skills, or you don't good in communication skills, but you're good in writings, or you are good in technology, multimedia, you can contribute in that field. So where to start? We start from ourselves, our family, our relatives, our friends, our neighbors, but start from ourselves. Because you don't want to become like hypocrites that Allah said in the Quran, right? A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. Kabura maqtan indallah an taqulu ma la taf'alun. So we don't want to say, hey, pray, but then you don't pray. Like in the field of technology, we used to use the word like eat your own dog food. Like you need to enjoy your conviction. You cannot just say Islam is truth, but you yourself don't believe Islam is truth. So this is what we need. First, ourselves. We need to spend time, self-reflection. We spend time to look for jobs, to look for a house, buying stocks, we do research on all these things, but we don't spend time to educate ourselves. We feel satisfied with our current level knowledge. We don't want to improve more. Even some brothers say that, brother, you don't need to do, lecture, we just show the manners. Of course, manners important in da'wah, but also knowledge. You cannot just, either or. Both need to be there. So I just want to talk about some reluctancy in da'wah, some excuses that I heard. One is, I'm not scholar. So, some people, when I ask for da'wah, they said, oh, I'm not scholar, I cannot go. But da'wah is not limited to scholars. So every Muslim can invite by sharing their basic faith. If you as well understand the 5 pillars of Islam, you can invite people or teach people or share the information. Even Rasulullah SAW said, convey from me even one verse, balighu walau ayah. One verse. And Bilal, if you know the story of Bilal, right? He was tortured, and what he said is Ahadun Ahad. And then one of the narrations companion asked, why you said like that? That's the only one I know for teaching, teaching them. That's only Ahadun Ahad. He doesn't know all this big knowledge that the other companion has. So we don't need to be expert to do da'wah. We can start sharing what we know. But we should not be like talking that we don't understand, like something that is not our field, we should say we don't know. We need to be honest in giving the da'wah. And also the Quran many times stress the importance of seeking knowledge. Having knowledge is very much stressed in Quran and Hadith. And Allah said in the Quran, Rabbi zidni ilma warzuqni fahma. So we always pray to Allah, Ya Allah, increase my knowledge that is beneficial. Because if you have knowledge but it's only for yourself, you don't share, it's not beneficial. That's why we ask Allah, ilman nafi'an, the beneficial knowledge that will be beneficial for you in this life and the hereafter. And then the other one is, I'm not perfect and still involved in sins. This is the other excuse. Like, brother, I'm still sinful, I cannot do da'wah. Okay, no one is perfect, and then everyone is striving, to improve. Everybody has weaknesses, and da'wah is not presenting yourself as flawless, right? Da'wah is not showing like, hey, I'm perfect. No, da'wah is basically sharing truth and guidance. Like when you know somebody going to the cliffs, what do you do? Like, oh, I don't have. You know this guy going to the cliff. You need to tell, hey, don't go there. This is da'wah. So something that you tell people about the truth, the reality. And then the other excuse is, I'm worried people think I'm showing off. Another brother said that I'm worried that I feel like people think I'm showing off. The intention is, we know the intention of Allah, nobody knows. That's why if you want to start da'wah, first clear the intention. Because some people, I want to make da'wah, I'm looking for spouse. I'm looking for, businesses or something. No, the da'wah, you need to be like sincere. This is mentioned many times in the Quran. One of them is Surat Al-Layl. They look for, nothing except the face of Allah. And then the other verse is Surat Al-Insan. Innama nut'imukum liwajhillah la nuridu minkum jaza'a wala syukura. Innama nut'imukum liwajhillah. So people who Allah described as righteous, they give food to the poor, to the needy, and they don't expect thanks or something in return. They say only we seek Allah, face of Allah. So sometimes we do da'wah and people don't appreciate it. Like you feel like, oh, why my name is not mentioned? So you need to ask your intention. The other one is, I'm worried people will hate me. He was worried like, what about if my manager see me, in da'wah table? So, people is having this concern, right? But if you have motivation, and then you have a strong motivation, and then you don't like preach, like, like some Christians, they have preached like, if you don't accept Jesus, you go to hell. We don't preach like that. We just give, the information that we know about Islam, and give the, information, the Quran and then the brochures, right? So nobody will, but we have sometimes we have that kind of mentality who comes to our da'wah table and, you guys want to kill us in 9/11, something like that. But when you deal with them with the kindness, like in the Quran say, idfa billati hiya ahsan, respond with the kindness, they will change. They will see your behavior, your attitude. Sometimes they're gonna test you. They want to provoke you. But if you keep cool, they will realize that. And many times, like several times, I know some brothers are involved. They hug us. Thank you for being patient. So it's this challenge. You don't have to. Allah is our, we take care of, security. That's why we need to be like in pair, for example, instead of alone, right? So this is something that I just want to share. And the other one is get involved. So this is something that I encourage everybody here. We have a lot of da'wah activities actually. Here in the masjid, we have a Portland Muslim speaker, and then Muslim Speaker Network. Tomorrow there will be a training here. And then also we have a da'wah tables team and also revert support. Because when people say shahadat, When are they gonna, maintain their Islamic identity? You need to support it. We cannot just, people asking me like, how many shahada you make, brother? I can say like, people can easily make shahada, repeat after me, But then how do you maintain their faith? Easy come, easy go. You need to have a strong conviction, from the person, and then you have to maintain it. Include them in the activities, in the community, in the organization, or making like weekly halaqah to meet with them, resolve their problems, instead of just, when somebody says shahada, you say takbir and hug, and then bye-bye. No, we need to support them. Because this is our brothers and sisters, this is our family. We keep claiming that Islam is the fastest growing religion in the US. But then you see many people, 7 out of 10, I did some research on this one. They said that within a couple of years, you never show that person who says shahada in the masjid anymore. So this, we need to introspect our effort, inshallah. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'anil Karim wa nafa'ni wa iyyakum bima fihi minal ayati wa dzikril hakim wa taqabbal minni wa minkum tilawatahu innahu was-samiul alim. Aqulu qawli hadza wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum fastaghfiru innahu wal ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillahilladzi hadana li hadza wa ma kunna linahtadiya laula an hadanallah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'dah. I like to give some of the stories during the time of the prophets and then companion as well as the contemporary. So what we talk about is not only theories, but it's a reality. So Rasulullah SAW, what is the methods of da'wah that he did during his time, and then I just give one companion, Ali bin Abi Talib. So one day, Anas bin Malik reported, I was walking with Rasulullah SAW, and then he was wearing a nice cloak, Najrani cloak. And then the Bedouin Arab grabbed the Prophet and forcefully, with his clothes. And then Anas said that I can see the mark because of the heavy grab. And then he said, oh Muhammad, the treasure is not owned by you. Order them to give me something that Allah's wealth which you have. And then the Prophet turned and smiled, and then ordered the men, his companions, to give the charity for him. And in the other narration, it mentioned that this man went back to his village, and then he told that Muhammad was very kind and generous, and he made the whole village become Muslim. Imagine, because of the manners. So this is from the Sirah, you can look at that. And then also one day there's a Rasulullah SAW in the masjid, and then the Bedouin came and peed in the masjid. And then all the companions say like, hey, stop, go. And Rasulullah SAW said, let them finish, let him finish. And then Rasulullah asked the Bedouin to come and then explain like, this is masjid, it's clean, you have to clean and then pray, recite the Quran, this is the place for connection with Allah. And then Rasulullah asked for a bucket of water to clean. And then in the other narration, the Bedouin is basically pray, oh Allah, have mercy on me and Muhammad, not anyone else. Because he knows like everybody's like upset with him. And Rasulullah said that, Allah's mercy is more than this. That's his mouth. So imagine this, the manners. This is challenge actually. It's like very emotional, right? Like you have to be like very patient. During the time of Ali bin Abi Talib, so Ali's shield went missing after the battle. And he saw a Christian man walking with his shield. And then he said, that's my shield. No, it's mine. And then Ali took him to the court, right? The judge is Shureh. So in the court, the judge asked the Christian, is this your shield? Or, Caliph like, argue that it's his shield. No, it's my shield. And then the judge asked Caliph, Ali bin Abi Talib, do you have proof? And Ali bin Abi Talib said, I don't have proof. In the other narration, he tried to bring his sons, Hassan and Hussein. But the judge said, no, it's your family. You have to have like, independence proof. And he said, no, I don't have proof. Ali smiled. And then the judge ruled in the favor of the Christian, who took the shield and left. But few steps later, he came back. And he said, I bear witness that what I just saw is the law of the prophets from the Bible. that you, Caliph, the Caliph, went to your judge, your own court, and the judge rules against you. And then he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. So he bear witness, he became Muslims. And then he said, oh, Khalifa, this is your shield. I found it during the Battle of Siffin. So this, you see, the being just impact the people. Just being just. You don't have to like lecture and preaching. Being just, being fair, being good manners, impact the people around you. And now I want to mention about some story that I know from Imam Muhammad Juban in Seattle. He told me one day a Rivert Brothers called him from Chicago. So he went back there to visit his mom. His mother was upset. He said, but mother upset when she found out that he's a Muslim, because in his mind, her mind is like, Islam is a religion of hate and violence. So every day, he said, his mom criticized him, like urged him to leave the faith. Like, why you got let this virus impacting your brain, you know, all this. But then one day, his mother told him that he noticed his change in his behavior. So he stopped cursing, he stopped yelling, drinking, smoking. And then he helped her all the chores at home. And she said that your face seems more happier. And he said, this is what Islam brought for my life. So her mom, you know, after talking to him about Islam, 5 pillars and all, and then she said Shahada too. So that's why the brother called Imam Joban crying, you know, Imam, my mother become Muslim. So this is something that, you know, you can see the change of behavior, the manners of, you know, somebody who accept Islam as their way of life. The other one, I witnessed a doctor convert to Islam at the masjid in Redmond, Maps. After pronouncing Shahada, the Imam asked him what led him to embrace Islam. He said that his neighbor was very kind to him and his family, and always ready to help whenever they needed. So this intrigued him, like, what is this? I heard Islam is so bad towards non-Muslims. They hate non-Muslims. But then when he studied about Islam, he becomes like more convinced, you know. So then he says Shahada. So also I want to share something that not only by manners, also by some events. Like I took a class in Arabic a long time ago in college, Arabic class, and I'm the only one, two Muslims there. 99% is like non-Muslims. And then the professor basically asked everybody that one of the assignment at the end of the year. So he asked to watch Ar-Risalah. You know the movie Ar-Risalah, The Message, 1976 movies, I think. So in Arabic. So because of the class in Arabic, so he said that observe the dialogues, you know, and then the Fusha language. And then at the end of the class, two, you know, sister became Muslim, Shahada, because of the content of the movie. So we can use all the, you know, tools for da'wah, not only like lecturing or just, you know, whatever we have in our, you know, ability, we try our best, inshallah. May Allah make us among those who listen to the advice and follow the best of it and benefits from it. May Allah grant us His blessing, health and well-being, knowledge and wisdom, and strong iman, and courage to contribute to the betterment of this ummah. May Allah protect us from harm and calamities in this world and the hereafter, and may Allah make us among those who enter paradise together. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alaihi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsani ila yaumiddin wa alaina ma'ahum bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma ighfir lil muslimin wal muslimat wal mu'minin wal mu'minat al ahya minhum wal amwat innaka qaribun mujibud da'wat ya qadiyal hajat. Rabbana la tu'akhidhna in nasina aw akhtana. Rabbana wa la tahmil alaina isran kama hamaltahu ala alladhina min qablina. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا برحمتك شر ما قضيت اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من زوال نعمتك ونعوذ بك من تهاول عافيتك ونعوذ بك من فجاءة نقمتك ونعوذ بك من جميع سخطك ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين إخواننا في فلسطين خصوصا في غزة وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون واذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين فاستجاب لهم ربهم أني لا أضيء عمل عامل منكم من ذكر أو أنثى بعضكم من بعض فالذين هاجروا وأخرجوا من ديارهم وأوذوا في سبيلي وقاتلوا وقتلوا لأكفرن عنهم سيئاتهم ولا أدخلنهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ثوابا من عند الله والله عنده حسن الثواب لا يغرنك تقلب الذين كفروا في البلاد متاع قليل ثم مأواهم جهنم وبئس الميهاد لكن الذين اتقوا ربهم لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها نزلا من عند الله وما عند الله خير للأبرار وإن من أهل الكتاب لمن يؤمن بالله وما أنزل إليكم وما أنزل إليهم خاشعين لله لا يشترون بآيات الله ثمنا قليلا أولئك أجرهم عند ربهم إن الله سريع الحساب يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you allow me, brothers, just 1 minute.